I'm a bit late for this video, but better than never. Better late than never. So I've actually owned Red Fox for over a year at this point. Now you might be thinking, what? But you didn't really show us off until November. Or if you're subscribed to the Random Alpha and you actually watched the Alpha World stream, October. But the honest truth is, no, I actually have owned the car longer than October. I actually bought that car back in August of 2020. So yeah, I've technically owned it for over a year and I have some thoughts. The title of the video is self-explanatory. Let's just get into it. So I'm going to start off with the things that I despise, because I like to leave with a positive impression at the end of the video. So let's just get the negative things out of the way real quick. First thing I despise is the radio. I really hate it. You want to know why? Boy, has our methods of streaming our music and playing our music really changed. I still have a CD player, of course, because it's a 2007 car. It should have a CD player by then. And so I have a CD player in there, but do you want to know how many CD copies of music I have? I'll give you a hint. Zilch. So, yeah, CD player is useless for me. So how do I listen to my music? Well, through my phone, of course. Now, it's the Buick Lucerne. I mean, they've got Bluetooth and all that. Why don't you stream your music through Bluetooth? One problem. My car doesn't even have Bluetooth. I'm serious. My mom has a car that's 4 years newer than mine. The same exact one, Buick Lucerne CXL, just 4 years newer than mine, and obviously in silver. My mom has that car, and guess what? She can pair her phone to it via Bluetooth, and my car doesn't have that. So I guess you'll just have to hardwire your phone in there. So okay, just plug in your standard USB to Lightning cable. Since I use an iPhone, plug that into your USB port in the car. To my surprise, despite that it's 2007 and iPods were rather popular by this time, mind you, my car doesn't even have a USB port to plug in an iPod for playing music. How does this my setup work? I go to Walmart and I buy the $9 Lightning to headphone jack adapter, since I use an iPhone XS Max. I then buy an aux cable and then plug my phone in via the aux port on the radio. Does it work? Yes. But it's not actually as convenient as you think. I mean, first of all, this problem wouldn't even be solved with the USB port. You'd have to fish your cable out and do that. But even despite that, I'm plugging my iPhone in, I can't charge it. And then what's the other problem? Controls. Whenever you plug in your phone via USB, usually you can control your music, like play, pause, or skip songs. Usually you can do that via the radio unit itself. But because I don't have a USB port, and the only thing aux is really capable of, except for various accessories, is audio feed, not really any device control feed, I have to play, pause, skip music by picking up my phone manually and tapping the button there, or asking Siri, as long as I'm in cell service. Yeah. I really don't like that, and I have to pick up my phone to control my music. That's a little dangerous. I don't like my radio a lot. I really hate it. The speakers are nice, despite that half of them are blown out, but in terms of controlling my music, I absolutely hate it. I'm really glad that cars do not play music this way anymore. The second thing I don't like is the doors, and it's only the rear doors I have a problem with. The front ones are fine. It's the rear I got a problem with. First of all, my back right door doesn't open. Lock's not the problem, but it's just somehow the door handles bust off. So what about the other door? Yeah, for some reason the lock randomly decides to not be responsive to any electronic commands. I mean, you can manually move it and that always works, but say you lock the car in a parking lot so you can go shopping, keep your valuables safe. Sometimes it will not lock, despite that I gave it the command. All the other doors lock, but that one will not. And it's the same for unlock. Sometimes it's just completely unresponsive to my electronic fob or the button inside the car itself to unlock and lock the doors. It's annoying! The next thing I really do not like, and this is very ironic because before I even bought the car, Salt Pepper knows this, a lot of people who know me personally know this, I hate long sedans because they are so horrible to maneuver around. They're so large and it's a pain to maneuver. I hate long sedans, and you want to know the funny thing? Or the ironic thing? Guess what I bought a year ago? A long sedan. So I get to feel the joys of trying to maneuver a very long vehicle. It's not easy. In fact, they classify it as a full-size sedan. I really don't think it's a full-size sedan. I think it's an oversized sedan. The next thing I really don't like, and thank goodness I haven't had to do it that much, but it has still been annoying when I had to do it. Question. What idiot put that trunk button in my glove box? Seriously, the trunk button of the car is in the glove box. It's not convenient when you have a tall passenger sitting in that seat and you have to open the glove box to push the button. Car manufacturers, please do not put the trunk button in the glove box. And the last thing that I really do not like about the car, it's the fuel bill. We used to have reasonable gas prices, and unfortunately, they kind of rose. Alright, so those are the things that I really despise the most. Let's get into the things that I actually like about the car, because, I mean, if I really didn't like it, then I probably wouldn't be driving it anymore. So what do I like about my car? The first thing is the power and the driving dynamics. Now, the power is nothing really special, but it is adequate enough to, if I need to get going, I got the power to do so. If I need to pass someone and because they're going slow, I got the power to pass. Definitely unlike that Chrysler 200 that I recently drove. I love the power. It's not too much to the point where I can go crazy, but it's at least enough to keep me happy for the situations where I really need it. And then the general driving dynamics of the car as well. It's easy to drive. Despite that, I hate long sedans. As long as you're not trying to park in tight spaces, that's the only reason why I hate them. As long as you're not trying to park the thing, it's actually easy to drive. Next thing I like, and I don't think I like is an understatement. I love this so much. My car, despite it being a 2007, Buick is technically a semi-luxury brand. It's not full luxury like Cadillac, but it's not dirt cheap like a Chevrolet. So it's really in between. So that's where Buick really stands. So it's not the nicest thing in the world, and because I got the next level up from the base model, the CXL, I was actually surprised to see that I got a heated steering wheel and 3-stage heated seats that I can configure to work on either button back or just the back. Heated seats and a steering wheel. Why is this important? Well, in case you didn't really know this, it snows up here, and when it snows, those temperatures drop so fast. I mean, they're technically dropping right now. It's getting cold. Heated seats and a heated steering wheel. The heated steering wheel is what I'm most surprised about, because it's kind of common to find heated seats in a Chevrolet even. Usually the only time you don't find them is if you really get the dirt base models. So I expected heated seats, but I did not expect a heated steering wheel, and that is really nice. I love it. Thank you, Buick, for putting a heated steering wheel on that. I love it. What else do I like about Red Fox? This is how I've actually been able to tolerate the fact that I have a long sedan. Rear parking sensors. So helpful. And I know you could say, dude, if you need parking sensors to back your car up, then you don't know how to drive. Okay, yeah, it is true. But you know what? I don't solely rely on them, because in the winter, they've actually frozen over and become completely useless. Don't worry, I still know how to back the car up without the parking sensors. But the reason why they're so helpful for me is because I'm actually challenged with my vision. Not only do I wear glasses, but depth perception is still something I'm working on. I've gone to vision therapy to try to take care of this, but because of my lack of depth perception, I still can't determine the distance of the bumper of my car and object close to it. I can't determine the distance of that. And not to mention, having it further away from you, it really does not help. So those parking sensors have been really nice for safety catches. But don't worry, I still drive it as if they don't exist, because that's really how you should be driving. That doesn't excuse the fact that they are really nice to have. The next thing that I like about it, and okay, this might be a bit controversial, because, if you watch my video about it, you definitely know that it might be a bit controversial. Reason being, I got a dent in it. Recognizability. I like that I can recognize my car. And you might be thinking, what? Because, in case you didn't know this, Chevy Impala and Buick Lucerne, they are literally the same car, just Buick Lucerne is stretched a little longer. But the reason why my car is technically more recognizable than an Impala and, well, any other common Lucerne out there is, well, not just the dent I have in the side of it, also the general color. The red on Red Fox, not exactly uncommon, but it's uncommon enough to the point where I can find my car easily. And then again, the crack in the headlight, the cracks in the bumper, and the dent in it, yeah, I guess that kind of helps it be recognizable too. And no, I did not cause those. I literally bought the car that way. And the last thing about Red Fox that I like, and again, kind of controversial, especially with a couple videos I made on my YouTube channel, reliability. So the reason why this is controversial is because I bought this thing in pretty poor condition. All of the bearings seriously needed replacement. The brake pads were on their way out, so were the rotors. The rear calipers had actually been swapped. So yeah, Red Fox was really in sore condition. To be honest, everything that I've replaced, including the bearings and the windshield washer pump, because that eventually went out too, and the battery I didn't even know that the battery on that thing had actually lost a cell. After I replaced all of those things which came with the car, it actually has not been having that many issues. The only main issue I have ever since I repaired it is pretty much, I really think it was the wheel bearing I installed on it, because ever since I changed that one wheel bearing, it's been having this problem. The ABS keeps randomly going off, but that is not common to my car. Actually, my parents' Lucerne has the same issue. I kid you not. They replaced the bearing and their ABS keeps going off. I'm guessing it's just the part I bought to replace it. Despite that, the car has generally been reliable. Ever since I've repaired it, nothing else has really broken. And all of the things that I mentioned, like the door lock, I've pretty much bought the car that way. The right door not opening, the windshield washer pump, I actually didn't even know was broken until I needed to use it. The dead battery cell, I didn't actually discover that was a problem until the winter. The car has really just generally been that reliable. I'm not upset with it. It's been reliable, and that's the biggest thing that I ask of my car every day. Can you please start up and get me from point A to point B, as well as my junk or any other passengers? Can you please do this? And ever since I repaired it, it's been doing it without any problems. So I'm not frustrated. Despite that, I have my issues with it, but those issues aren't big enough to the point where it's almost undrivable. Though I do plan on replacing that radio at some point. That is just not acceptable. All right, that's Red Fox a year later. Thank you for watching. Do me a favor and interact with the stuff below. My name is Alpha DeWolf, Random Alpha, signing out.